You're listening to the Flip Houses Like a Girl podcast, where we educate, empower, and celebrate everyday women who are facing their fears, juggling family and business, embracing their awesomeness, and wholeheartedly chasing their dream of flipping houses. Each episode delivers honest to goodness tools, tips, and strategies you can implement today to get closer to your first or next successful house flip. Here's your spiky-haired, breakfast taco-loving host, house flipping coach, Debbie DeBeery.
Hey there. How's it going? Thanks for hanging out with me today. So we are revisiting a friend of ours. I feel like Mr. Rogers. We are having an update conversation with Sharon, who is one of our FlipSisters in the Houston area, who's flipping houses on Galveston Island. And we're going to catch up with her and see what's what, see what has transpired over the last few months since we last spoke. And it's pretty exciting. I mean, she is not sitting on her laurels, okay? She is a doer. And she had a goal of flipping 3 houses in a year, and she's purchased 6. So, I mean, come on. How amazing is that? I love it. So I'm excited to catch up with her. We're going to talk about her most recent flip that she sold. That's her second flip. And of course, all the nitty gritty on that. Lessons learned, all the details, all the numbers, all the things that we all love to hear. And then we'll also do a little rundown of each of the other projects. All right, cool. Okay, so one of the biggest things I love about Sharon's story is that from the beginning, she has embraced the importance of a team, having a team and relying on your team. She wouldn't be able to do it otherwise because she has a demanding full-time job. So in order to do this, in order to get this house flipping business going, she has to rely on her team. And also, that's what makes it a business, right? Like if it requires your constant presence in order for things to move forward and for things to happen, that's just another job. We want to create a business, okay? A business that lets people shine at what they do, right? They're in their zone of genius. They're operating in the space that they love to operate in. And we get to operate in the space we love to operate in. All right. It's a really powerful thing. So I have always loved that she, from the get-go, has embraced her team and the importance of team. Right? We're already conditioned to wear all the hats and do all the things, but some of us don't unlearn that. Some of us like to hang on to that, right? We like to say, oh, well, I'm doing this all by myself. I'm going to figure this out by myself. I don't need anybody's help. You're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. The faster we bring people around us who are also wanting that same goal for us, the faster we get that goal. Struggling in the figuring it all out on your own and doing it all on your own, that's not a badge of honor. All right? Grab people. Bring people along with you on this journey. Okay? You'll get there faster. Okay. All right. So let's get into this conversation where we catch up with Sharon. How about, okay, so you've sold, I know you're on project 6. Well, purchase 6, right? You're
purchase 6.
Maybe today, because it was supposed to happen yesterday.
We bought it yesterday.
Oh, you did close yesterday. Maybe it was supposed to close Tuesday.
Yes, it was. It was supposed to close Tuesday. It was a day behind. But we got it closed yesterday. It was the fastest closing I've ever done. We were there for like 5 minutes. That's it.
I know. It's like, shouldn't there be a bigger production? This feels like it's a bigger deal than just like a 5-minute signing, but I get it and I appreciate it. But yeah, I feel like it's a bigger deal than that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was exciting. We got to do that. And we went by and got the keys, got into the house. So
That's right.
I was able to get a little video in before the contractor
That's
started.
Right. Yes. Okay. Okay. So recently you sold one. I think it was Monday.
It was Monday.
Okay.
So Monday I sold the second flip.
Okay.
And lot of lessons learned on that one.
Okay.
Sure.
Do you want to talk about that one?
Yeah. So that one, we purchased right after we sold our first one. So we purchased it in April. And we got started on it right away. But we quickly realized that I had not budgeted correctly on the rehab because I really needed to put the new windows in. Then it really needed a new roof. And because of the freeze, the pipes had all busted. And the guy who owned it was a landlord, basically. He was supposed to fix all the plumbing. Well, it came down to closing and he didn't fix it all. So we ended up having to go in and re-plumb the whole house. So that added a little bit more to my budget than I anticipated.
Were there any repercussions? Like, could you hold him accountable for that? Or was it one of those things where it's like,
yeah, he had basically said, he had a plumber in there. He did a few things. He goes, I'm done all I'm going to do to this house. We gave it to you at a good price, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, whatever. We're hours from closing. So I'm just going to go ahead and put through it.
Right.
And just see what happens on the backside. So, I didn't budget accordingly, with my lender. So we ended up coming out of pocket for quite a bit of the expenses and just praying that the market would hold to where I could not lose money.
What was the purchase price on that one?
We bought that one for $192,000.
Okay. And it's larger, right?
It was like 1,484 square feet.
Okay.
But it looked bigger than it really was. It had 4 bedrooms and 2.5 baths. And a big kitchen. Well, we turned it into a big kitchen. I mean, my contractor and designer, they're amazing. I just walk into a house and just, look at it and say, oh yeah, we can do this, this, and this. And, just made it fantastic.
It's all about the team. I love it.
Yeah. So I didn't really have to think too much about the design aspect of it other than, yes, I want to keep the hardwood floors.
Right.
Anything that we could salvage, we wanted to salvage. There wasn't much there that we could salvage, but just the floors.
Yeah. Okay. So you paid $192 and going into it, what were you thinking in terms of the rehab budget?
The rehab originally was going to be about $60,000.
Okay.
Well, when I walked through it initially, it was going to be like $40,000. I'm thinking, oh, we'll just keep the cabinets and we'll just do a basic, flip. Well, no, that didn't end up being what it was. So I actually went back to my lender after my contractor walked through it with me and, they came up a little bit more. It was around $62,000 at that point. And that was before we just decided we really needed to do the windows. So the lender only provided, $62,500.
Got it.
Then the final rehab budget was around $80,000.
Okay.
So I came out of pocket for about $20,000 on that one.
Okay.
But knowing that, okay, hopefully I'll get that back on the very end.
Right. Right. Well, yeah, it's hard because when you start going into these houses and you think, okay, I'm going to replace as little as possible, right? You think, oh, yeah. I can salvage these things. I can salvage this. But when you start pulling out and start putting in new things, those old things look even worse than before. I know. Every time I say, you know what, these other people, they're not changing out windows. Why do I always change out windows? So then I go in, I'm like, I'm not doing it this time. And I go in and I do everything. And I'm like, well, now the windows look way worse than the beginning. Replace the windows.
Yes. Exactly what I was doing. And I'm like, these are the original windows in the house, the ones that have the little pulley chains on them, and they're old Galveston windows. And I'm like, they're starting to leak. There's rot around the edges of them. I'm like, we cannot keep these windows. I have to replace them. And the old hurricane shutters, I hate them.
Yeah.
I absolutely cannot stand those hurricane shutters. And so anytime they're on a house that I go look at, my realtors know, everyone knows Sharon's going to get rid of the windows. So yeah, that was on me though. I just didn't plan accordingly. And so, but every single flip I do, I learn a little bit more on the budget.
Yeah. Yeah. It's important to know how your contractor budgets because everyone budgets differently, right? Every contractor charges differently. And you got to know what they charge, the actual people who are going to do the work. Yes.
Yeah. But I'm still not perfect yet. And I don't want anybody to ever think that that's perfect because it's not ever perfect.
We just keep learning and doing and learning and doing. Like for me, that's the fun of it.
And I don't know. It's just, it's like an adventurous side of me, I'm a little bit more risky than some.
I love it.
I'm just like, no, it's got to work. I've got to make this work.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, we ended up now selling that one was also hard. Cause it was the first house on the street that was rehabbed.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So when did you guys put that one on the market?
We got it. It was about a 9-week, rehab. So we got it listed, I think the weekend of July 4th, right before July 4th.
Okay.
And so of course, July 4th, it was a holiday weekend, but I think it rained that weekend too. So it was a harder time to put it on the market.
Sure.
But it sat for a good 2 months.
Oh, it's painful.
I mean, we had lookers, but the comps were all over the place. So when my realtor ran the first set of comps, when we were starting to list it, and she's not real familiar with the Galveston area. So she's like, no, I'm pretty confident in these comps. I think we can list it for $390. I'm like, oh, okay. So I kind of went with her. But then, more realtors that brought folks to come look at the house, the more feedback we got. No, you got to list it too high for that particular street. It's too high. So we kept lowering and lowering until we finally found the right range, which was still above my ARV. So I was happy with that.
Yeah.
And as long as I wasn't going to lose money, I was okay with lowering the price.
Yeah.
So we finally got it down to the last time we dropped it was at 325.9, I believe. And then, so we finally got that offer in, one offer. And it was they offered $338,000. That way we just still get our full asking amount, but still be able to provide them $9,000.
Yeah. Got it. Okay.
So it worked out okay.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, wait a second. Why did they offer over? But okay. That makes perfect sense. Okay. So during those 2 months, oh God, I know that feeling of
hard.
Oh my gosh. Isn't it the worst?
Because it was such a gorgeous house.
No, it's beautiful.
We rocked that one. It's my favorite house still.
Beautiful.
I love the colors in that house. I mean, everything was designed perfectly. Everything was new on that house. It was just the feedback. It was the wrong neighborhood. Don't like the location. The house is great. Don't like the location. And so we knew it'd have to be somebody that lived on the island that kind of knew the territory that would finally invest in it. So found the perfect buyer finally.
Oh gosh, that's so hard.
I was so happy to be done with that one.
Yeah, it's so painful when you're like, what? I mean, at some point it's like, you drop and drop and drop and drop the price. And you're like, okay, now I'm chasing the market.
We learned a lot of lessons. And one of those is going back to my modules and remembering what Debbie said, know your surroundings, look at the street you're buying on. And, so that one was a big lesson. And so even Larry's like, nope, we're going to pay attention to what's around us whenever we buy the next one. And I feel like this 6th property, this one that we just purchased is like the best one that we've bought on the best street. It's the worst house on the best street. So I'm like, this one's going to be good.
Are you holding that one as a rental?
I really want to hold it. I really do, but it's so funny because we went to the house yesterday and the neighbors were out and boy, they were so happy that we bought the house, but they're like, oh, I'm so glad it was you guys that bought the house. We just don't want someone coming in here and turning it into a house, a short-term rental, and that our neighborhood's just not going to go for that. And Larry and I are looking at each other like,
awkward.
Kind of our thought. And that's how we have it designed. Our designer designed it for a short-term rental. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, it can be a short-term rental without being a party house, right? You can have
Yes, we'll just have
that.
to, have the laws set down on that one. So,
right. Oh,
but it's such a cute house. I don't want to get rid of it. So I really want to try to hold on to it if we can. But as we go through it, we'll keep looking at the market and see how it's doing and how, other things are coming along for us. So,
yeah.
I know we always want to know what we're going to do, but
I think we want to have multiple options. Yeah. I think if we have multiple options that we can exercise, that's way better than just having the one focus. Like maybe we think, okay, this is going to be this, but we also have these other strategies that we can use if we need to. Yeah. Just like, I've been in the middle of flips that I thought I was going to hold on to. And then I would see something weird in the market and be like, actually I'm going to sell this. I think it's time to sell this one or whatever. To be able to have the flexibility to use different strategies on that same property, I think is way smarter than having like tunnel vision where it can only work if it's this one thing. Yeah. Because that's where I've screwed up before. Like, okay, this has to work. There's no other option. Like, oh gosh, no. So I think that's great.
I'm learning where to buy now and where not to buy. So I'm getting smarter in that regard. And that's all about just knowing your target market. Yes. And honestly, that's why I haven't pulled out of Galveston yet, because I feel like I'm just starting to learn it. After properties, I'm just now starting to learn it. And I'm like, oh, it's so hard to move out of that territory.
The nuances, like knowing those nuances, that's what most people don't know. Are those nuances. So learning those, it's invaluable. And I mean, you've already purchased 6 properties on this tiny island. In a year. Like, don't go anywhere. It's working for you.
It is working for me. And I have thoroughly enjoyed it. We have our third one listed. That one, it's got so many lookers. It's the problem with that one is it's a 2-1 and that one bathroom just kind of scares folks, or it's a little smaller house. So it's going to take a specific family. It could even be students. I've been actually looking into furnished finders and thinking, well, maybe I should midterm it. So if it doesn't sell soon, I'll make a decision on that one. But I really want that one to sell because again, that is not a prime territory where I really should have bought, but I learned through the process, those first 3 on that process, it taught me so much. And now the fourth one is the one that's almost done. Now we're starting to stage it for Airbnb, getting it set up on short-term rental. And so that one, we really like it. It's not down by the beach, but it's close to Moody Gardens, good access. It's right off of Broadway. Anybody familiar with Galveston, sits right off of Broadway. It's easy to get to the Strand, easy to get to the beach, easy to get to Moody Gardens. And it's a great big backyard. So we can turn it into, put a fire pit back there with some Adirondack chairs and, all kinds of fun little things. So we're almost done with that one. The rehab's done. It's just Larry and I finishing up. We got to get a fence replaced and finish painting the deck and put some landscaping in. And I think we're good to go.
So flip number 2, what did you end up profiting on that?
Not as much as I wanted, but we ended up not losing. We ended up profiting about $13,000.
Hey, for a house that sat on the market for 2 months, like awesome.
In the wrong neighborhood with a very large rehab that I was not expecting. Yeah. My goal was just not to lose money. And I told my realtor that. I told Larry, that's like, as long as we don't lose money, we've learned a lot of lessons and we're getting better at it. So with every one, I get a little bit better and I'm happy with that. So as long as I'm not losing that money I'm investing, I'm okay with it.
Totally.
I am okay with it.
Yeah. You were paid to learn. Yep. That's pretty awesome.
And no matter how much money I made on that one, it was a win all the way around.
I love that. It is more than, I hear it. Yeah. It is more than just the money. Yes. We look at the money and we consider that our metric of whether it was good or not, but there are all those other things that you can't measure because they keep giving a return, right? Like they keep returning and returning and returning.
They do. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So flip number 3 is on the market. That's the 2-1.
That's the 2-1.
Flip number 4 is the one that's being staged right now and about to be on the Airbnb.
Yeah, between 3 and 4, I had bought that lot.
Yeah.
So we have that's still in the engineering phase, I guess. It's with a structural engineer, going through all the hurricane stuff. And I'm good with holding that one a little bit longer until we get we're really trying to see if that material cost comes down a little bit.
Yeah. And it has come down. It's trending that way. With new construction, it definitely has a bigger impact than on a remodel, right? Like those lumber prices are pretty key.
Yeah, they are. So we actually haven't even got the budget done for that one yet. So we have to wait I've seen the layout of it. I've seen, we've actually sent it back for changes last week. So after it gets stamped, finalized, then he'll work on the budget for me and then we can start that process. So we're crossing our fingers that that one still works out well within the budget.
Yeah. Yeah. It will. If not, you'll figure it out. I have no doubt.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So that's project 5, right?
That was 4. And then the 5th one is the one that we're actually setting up on Airbnb currently.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
That's what we call Avenue K. So, Tiffany has one on Avenue K. And so
I know. I love that.
Blocks apart, but we both have one on Avenue K.
That's so cool. I think that's so cool.
We're both doing short-term rental on those. So, I'm going to try it. I'm still trying to figure out the short-term rental piece of it. If we're going to manage it ourselves or use a Bob, I don't know that yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm still trying to figure out the refinance on it. But learning a little bit every single day in regards to both of those. And I think I found the lender I want to go with. I'm holding off on actually pulling the trigger until I get the fence done because I want to make sure the appraisal comes back as high as possible.
I mean, that's all. It all hinges on that. That is the most important part on that refi. Yeah. Appraisers are humans.
Yep.
And it depends on their mood. It depends on the comps they're pulling. It depends on how they assess things. So
yeah. And actually the one lender that I'm gearing towards, he's like, if you can just send me comps that you have, that way I can share those with the appraiser. So, as we go along, I'm kind of jotting those down, putting them in an email to myself. So I have them.
Yeah. Good.
So I'm going to pull the trigger on that one soon. I just want to get it finished before I did it because I don't want that appraisal too soon.
Yeah, no, totally makes sense. Makes perfect sense. I love the houses that you keep finding. They all have these really cute porches and I love them so much. They're all so charming. Like they're just so charming. How are you finding them? The second one, I feel like the second one, there's a story to it. I feel like that one came back to you.
That one, it went on the market. And that one, someone actually, I think it went into escrow and then it came out of escrow. And then we went in and got it the same day, actually.
Got it. Okay. So that was MLS.
It was MLS. Third one, in and a half, that's still on the market. That one was through a wholesaler. Okay. And that was my first wholesale deal. Okay. I learned so much through that process. And there's things I would do differently. I probably would have asked for a little bit less, in negotiating that one. Because that property just has so many different nuances to it because it's got the main property, which is a 2-1, right? But it also has an additional unit behind it, but doesn't have plumbing. It only has electrical and it's got an AC unit in it. We added a closet, so it could be a bedroom, but you can't count that really as square footage. Well, my lender told me differently, but my real estate agent's like, no, you can't count it as square footage. And I'm like, okay. So that was so hard to pull comps on.
Yeah.
And then it's got a different structure behind it it's like a big storage unit, but it's also got power. It's got electricity in it and it's got a big 220 outlet for a generator. So if someone had a diesel truck or a generator on their truck, they could plug it into that building and run the whole house off of it.
On that smaller house?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize that was there. Oh, yeah. Okay.
So there's three buildings on that property.
That's amazing. Yeah, I had no idea.
That's why I got it. Yeah. That's why I bought it. And I'm like, okay, this one should be good for someone. But again, I'm still having a little trouble selling it. So we'll see how that one turns out. But it would still make a good rental, even if I can't get it to sell.
Yeah.
And, maybe sell it later. If it doesn't sell soon.
Right.
She's got an open house set for this weekend. So we'll see how that one works out. Yeah. But love the porch on that one.
I know. So cute. So cute.
Yeah.
Seriously, I love all the porches. I just want to come sit on all of your porches. And then how to Flip 3. Where did you find that one?
So the one that's going up on Airbnb, we found it MLS as well.
Awesome.
So all of mine were MLS except the lot and the one on In-N-A-Half.
I love it. You just have to be able to act. That's it. You can find deals on MLS. You have to act.
Yeah. And this last one that we bought, it had gone into escrow 3 times and fallen out 3 times. I put 3 offers in on that one, lost out the first 2 times. This last time I saw it, I sent it to my realtor. I'm like, are you kidding me? Is this happening again? And she's like, oh, we're on it. So we put another offer and finally got it. And I love that house. It is so cute. So cute. Big, nice front porch, back deck. Love it.
I love that house. Yeah. I mean, so what did you end up, you offered 3 times on that house?
Mm-hmm.
Did you end up having to, did you come up each time, or was it around this? Like, what were the offers like?
I came up the last time about $5,000, but it was still under asking price. So, because I think they were offering they wanted $235. We offered $225 finally on that last round. And my realtor knew that they had accepted an offer the second time at $225.
Got it.
And on the last day of when they were supposed to close, something happened and it didn't go through. And so I went ahead and offered the $225. They gave it to me that day. So I was pleasantly surprised.
So it went under contract twice. It fell out of contract twice.
Yep.
Do you know why?
I want to say it was due to the inspection. And I don't know if these were not investors that, it does need a lot of work, and I wasn't scared of the work. I'm never scared of the work.
Yep.
Because I know Lewis can handle it. But how much work? Yes, I'm sometimes scared of that, but this one, it's mainly cosmetic. The foundation's good. It does need new HVAC. It needs new roof. It needs plumbing and electrical, all those things. But if I'm going to hold on to it, I want those things changed out.
Right.
The roof hasn't been done since probably before Hurricane Ike.
Oh gosh.
And the windows have been there for probably through several hurricanes. And so I just don't know how much longer either one of those would last. So
Right.
if I'm going to invest in Galveston, I need it to be new.
Yeah. Right. Well, and it's easier to bid. It's easier to estimate when you're replacing everything. That's what I learned. Like I love the big projects because there's less room for my error. Less room for me screwing up, like forgetting, oh, I left that out, or, oh, I didn't even consider that. Nope. Everything. I consider everything.
Yep.
And then if I don't have to, it's like, oh, you get a little bonus. You don't have to touch that one thing, or it's not as bad as you thought. Yeah. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you're just awesome. I love watching your journey. It's so fun. You're just out there doing it and just love that so much. And you just keep going.
Yeah. But, I still have goals for myself. I still want to get better at marketing. I want to get those letters done, those, whatever I need to do. But I still focus a lot on the MLS and I still find them.
Exactly.
I focus on wholesale deals. I get tons of wholesalers sending me stuff every single day.
Yeah.
But I network constantly through our group, through, the events here in the Houston area. Through, you learn so much by just talking to people. And I'm really not a talker at all. I try to push myself to get out and meet more people. So
that is awesome. Way to get out of your comfort zone.
Uncomfortable.
Super. It can be absolutely super uncomfortable. Yep. I love that you're doing it anyway. It's a people business, right? It is people business and relationships. So it's so good. It's so good to hear. I love it. I love hearing all of these updates. It's so fun.
It is fun.
And so when you look back, could you ever have imagined that you would have bought 6 properties in this year?
My goal when I first started was to flip 3 in a year.
Uh-huh.
In the beginning, I never even wanted to be a landlord. I didn't want to hold houses. It was just all about the flips.
Yeah.
And then I started to think, oh, okay, I need to start holding, for tax purposes, for long-term investing and
Yes.
Long-term wealth.
Yes.
Trying to figure out the best way for us. And I really feel like short-term rentals is our best route.
Yeah.
So we're in a prime area for it. Galveston's very friendly with the short-term rentals. They have made a few adjustments. There's one particular area in Galveston that's really pushing hard for no short-term rentals. So, and we sit just outside of that area. But I put Larry on that task of getting the permit for this short-term rental, and when I give him things like that to do, he's like all in, and he researches the laws. He understands everything that's going on within that area, and he likes to do that kind of research.
Yeah.
He's fascinated with the architectural pieces of Galveston, and even in the homes, we like to protect some of the things that are existing to the home and keep some of those things. Anyway, it's fun for both of us, and we both have our things that we like to do. I don't like doing all the research. I don't like looking at the laws. I don't like doing any of that stuff. And that's all things we have to do. But he enjoys figuring all that stuff out, and I let him do it. I like the numbers.
Yeah, exactly. Let everybody do the thing they enjoy doing. We don't have to do the things we hate. Somebody does.
Yeah.
So that's why like having people around you, helping you do this thing and letting them do what they enjoy doing, everybody's light gets to shine brighter.
That's right. Like I'm not gonna say I don't like doing design, but I'm not good at it. So I let Maddie do my design. I let Louis do the contracting. I let Larry do all the marketing and the posting on the Facebooks and stuff like that. Things, but I just kind of stand back and watch sometimes.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to have you back for another update. I love this update. This is so fun. It's so fun to hear all the things that are going on. And yeah, we'll just keep watching.
So I'm going to add this note to those who haven't shared their story yet. So it doesn't matter, big or small, share your story. Because we all learn. And this is how I learned. I came to UW because of a podcast. And it was from Rachel. That podcast is what made me just jump in and start doing it. And I'm still scared every time I pull the trigger and buy a new house. And I'm like, okay, we're going to make this work. We're going to make it work. And somehow we've always made it work. And I'm going to find ways. If it's not going to sell, we'll figure out another path. But that's just part of it. And it's the fun of managing it. So.
Exactly. Yeah. You're going to figure it out. You're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's huge. There's always going to be something, and there's always something to learn. There's always something new. And just knowing that you're going to figure it out. And you've got people that you can ask questions of. You are resourceful. You will figure it out. You'll be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And you just really rely on the people that have been there and done that.
Yes, absolutely.
And I appreciate you and all you do. I would not be here without you guys, you and Sissy and everyone else who is very responsive to all of our questions all the time. I could not have done this. Could not have. So inspiring.
Man, you're awesome. I appreciate that. Well, thanks for sharing your stories, because just like you said, the stories are so important. Mm-hmm. And not the guru stories or the expert stories, but everyday people doing this thing.
Yes.
That's what's inspiring. So thank you for coming back.
In the middle of your busy, crazy life and trying to manage your own personal things, you can still do this.
Yes, you absolutely can do it. If you want to, you absolutely can.
Yep.
So thank you for sharing your story again, sharing an update of your story, and we'll have you on again.
Okay. I look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate you.
You too.
You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. I loved it. Thanks again, Sharon. That was so fun to catch up with you. And I just love seeing all of your action taking and you trusting yourself, trusting the process, and just going and doing. It's super exciting. So thanks. And obviously we'll have you back. Okay. All right. So if You're sick of not making progress. You're sick of putting this off, right? So many of us put this off for years. Let's just put our dreams on the back burner, right? No, let's stop doing that. All right. Let's go after what we want. Let's chase our curiosities. So if you're sick of not making progress or sick of sitting on the sidelines and you want some help, you want to know the steps, and you want an incredible community of women supporting you, guiding you, and coaching you to get where you want to go, that's what we do. That is our specialty. We help women from all walks of life chase this dream they have of loving old houses back to life. And we support them the entire way. So if you want to do that, if you want to see if we might be a fit to work together, schedule a call with us. All right, go to herfirstflip.com and let's talk. All right, until next time, go out there, flip houses like a girl, leave people and places better than you find them, and make it a great day.